Hi friends, here's how to complete the latest raid episode 2 in Modern Warfare 2. So as you load into the episode 2 of the raid, you'll load in with your trio and you'll need to find the ladder to climb up. Once you get up the ladder, you'll see some ledges you can jump to. First, jump to the main big ledge and stand on top of it, look up and you should see some smaller hanging ledges you can jump up to, and eventually make your way to the small vent tunnel. Head all the way through this tunnel. You need to kill a bunch of enemies, maybe a juggernaut on the way as well. And eventually you'll make it to a silo room. It'll be similar looking to where you first started, and you'll notice the ledges look quite similar. You'll need to jump up and make your way up them, but when you get to the top you'll notice you won't be able to jump left because there'll be a valve of steam blocking your way. This is where you'll need some coordination with your teammates. There's going to be a valve at the bottom where one of your teammates will need to turn. This will move the steam from blocking the first ledge to blocking the second ledge. This will allow you, or whichever teammate has climbed the little ledges first, to jump across to the main ledge. Once you or your teammates on that first ledge, then whoever's at the valve will need to turn it again. It puts the steam back to blocking the first ledge, but will clear the jump to the second ledge. If you then jump across, you should then be able to get up quite easily to the vent. When you get into the vent, you'll notice there's another valve up there, and you can use this to do pretty much the same thing. You just need to alternate between the first and second ledges where the steam blocks it off, and keep alternating here as you watch your teammates jump across, and this will easily allow you and your team to get through this. It's not too hard, just a little bit of coordination, super simple. Once you get here and all your teammates are up, you then need to head through all the doorways and corridors, and eventually you'll make your way to this green computer station where you'll notice 3 red buttons. Now, you need some coordination here again with your teammates, because if you don't push the buttons at the right time together, then you're not going to be able to get across. The trick we used was for our random teammate to shoot his pistol 3 times, and after the 3rd shot, we then all press the action button, and if you do it close enough to each other, you'll notice a bunch of red flaps open across the way, and you now have a pathway to get across. Now, you do need to be quite quick and quite careful here. Firstly, no more than one person can stand on one of the red flaps at a time, so make sure you don't jump on there if your teammate's on there. But at the same time, the flaps will just drop down if you don't move across as quickly as possible. And therefore you need to kind of go in cohesion one after the other, jumping in a straight line as quickly as possible. Don't wait too long, otherwise the flap will drop and you'll fall, and then you all have to go back to the start and do it again. Eventually, as you make it across, you'll notice the last jump is slightly to the right, but not too far off, and you'll make it to another platform. Go up the zipline. You can see it's yellow, it's on the left once you jump through. Once you're up, you'll notice pretty much the same thing you'll have to do. Get the coordination down, get the red flaps up, and then jump across them. You'll notice for this one you need to jump to the right towards the end, and then make your way along the pipes, and then you'll find some more flaps to jump across. And essentially just keep following the red flaps as you go through, and you'll eventually make it to the end on a platform where there's a door you can go through. After this, you'll notice there's a place where you can stock up on ammo. Do make sure you do that, because there are loads of enemies you'll have to kill. Eventually you'll make it to a silo room. Again, kill all the enemies in the silo room, and there'll be a zipline you can make your way up. Once you've done a bit of climbing and you got to the top, you'll notice to go up there's a stream of fire blocking your way. For this, there's a valve on the other side. One of your teammates will need to turn it. It will turn off the fire temporarily and allow you to go up the zip line. When you get to the top of the zip line, there's going to be another valve there, and this will allow you to turn off the fire so your teammates can come up. After you all make it up, head through the blue door. Again, loads more enemies you'll have to kill along the way. And there'll also be another set of red flaps and a green computer console. You have to do the same thing as you did before, coordinate your push of the button, and then jump across the red flaps in order. Once again, head through the blue doors after that, and you'll drop into the tunnel. Keep following along the way. It's pretty much straight with a few little twists and turns, and the odd staircase here or there. It will go dark, you'll need to turn your flashlight on, but they'll do that automatically so you don't need to worry. Once you get through all of this, you'll get to a weapons room. After this, you kind of move into the final part now, and it's kind of tricky mainly due to the number of enemies and little time that you've got. You'll notice 3 stations as you move through the room. The first station is to turn the gas off in the room that you see in front of you through the glass. The second station is to stop the fan, which again you should see through the glass in the room in front of you. And the final set are slightly different looking computers. Again, though, you'll notice a button. This one will open and close the doors. So now that you found the stations, walk through the room and you should see some stairs to go down, and then a closed door. Now, one of your teammates needs to stand right by this door. The other 2 of you go back into the room you were just in. One of you stand by the gas, one of you stand by the door. As soon as the teammate that presses the gas to turn it off does that, the teammate standing by the button to open the doors should press it straight away. Once you've done this in coordination, the teammate standing down below where the closed door was should then run through the door because the door will open and the gas will disappear. Got 3 rooms you need to maneuver through. There will be some electric wires and water. Try to avoid them. It's not the end of the world if you do get caught, but it will slow you down. Now the gas doesn't stay off for that long, so you need to get through that room as quickly as possible. Bit of parkour, jumping across tables and objects. Eventually you'll make it to the set of 3 fans. This is that second set of consoles I mentioned. So the teammate that turned the gas off, you'll find that other green console. Press that button there. I recommend doing it before your teammate gets to those fans. They should then stop one of the fans and your teammate will need to spot which one. If they walk through that fan that's stopped, they'll then be able to get to the last room. They will need to climb up, and if you're doing it, remember, you'll need to climb up the table and jump through that little gap, and you'll see the final door there. When your teammate's near that final door, this is when your teammate that opened the first door presses the exact same button to open that final door. And then your teammate that was in the room doing the parkour will get right through to the end and into another room. The room they get to is pretty much the same room that you're in, with exactly the same buttons that you can press to do exactly the same things. The point of that is, you'll now need to coordinate with that teammate that's made it through, because player 2 will now be having to go through that room. So your teammate that made it through to the other room, the first person to do that, will need to press one of the buttons. It doesn't really matter which one. They could do the gas or they could do the door. And again, just follow the exact same steps to allow player 2 to get through to the end and join the first teammate in the other room. And that will just leave one of you in the original room, but your 2 teammates on the other side should be able to help you with that, again following exactly the same steps. Eventually, you'll all make it through into that final room. There'll be a bunch of enemies you have to kill, so clear out the room, and then you can make your way through the open blue doors at the back. Again, keep running through and killing all the enemies on the way, but you'll notice the gas does start moving behind you, so you can't stop and wait around. You've got to keep pushing forward and just keep shooting the enemies as quickly as you can. Like I said, the Molotovs are useful against the Riot Shield players. There will be a section where you get 2 or 3 that push forward towards you, so use those Molotovs and get through it as quickly as possible. And once you get through and up the stairs, you'll finally get to a wall with a crack in front of it. You need to set up an explosive on this. You do this by interacting with your interact button. The thing with this is your whole team needs to be there, but when you're finally all there at the wall, one of you will set the explosive, blow a hole in the wall, and then you just got to go through it. There will be a final few corridors and staircases to get through, but eventually you'll make it to the final airlock door where you can open it, and you'll finally complete episode 2 and get the final cutscene. So good luck to all of you. Hopefully this video helps, but do let us know in the comments if you do need any other help or any other tips. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you later.